Erica asked yesterday afternoon if I could get some more details about the job processing into Beacon. So previously you could just see, hey, did it work? Did it not? And there's a little button over here that says, reprocess, right? So couldn't get to a lot of details, so it wasn't particularly helpful. So I did that this morning, and you can now go into a job detail, which is pretty straightforward. There's an overview, which just says kind of the same things. There's a little bit more detail about the timings. And this is one of the things that I do want to call out. There's a created at and a started at field. Okay. What that means is when the file proc service gets a request to process a file, that's that point in time. However, as we know, we do queue these things up, and there are, again, if somebody goes in and uploads 100 documents, it's going to go into a queue, right? So the started at is really important because if there's a 10-minute window between the created at and started at time, you can understand that this just took a while because there was some other stuff going on. And then it, of course, tells you how long the entire job took. And then it shows you every step, right? So every step in the job. So when we process a file, there's lots of things that happen. The first thing that happens is we kind of acknowledge that we're processing the file, which you'll see as a submit step. The second step is going to be the same for every file content type, which was we actually get the data off of cloud storage, which is this load content step. You'll see most resource types will go through this TICA step, which is what we use for a lot of the processing types, with the exception of PDF, CSV, and XLS. So if it's a PowerPoint or a Word document, it's going to land there. And then you'll see multiple other steps that we go through as well here. And I think the important part here, though, is that you'll see where the job failed, right? So if it doesn't say finished, that's not good, right? And if it says failed, that's really not good. And if it is failed and an error occurred, it will tell you what the last error was, right? So for each of these steps, typically we will attempt them up to 3 times, right? Um, and so there would be, there could be multiple errors that get recorded, and we always just show here the last one. So anybody have any questions about this?
I just add that it's 1,000 milliseconds to a second. And so when you're looking at these numbers and you see like at the bottom 5,200, that's 5 seconds, 5.2 seconds.
Yep.
Mhm. Okay. Right. Because I guess it's milliseconds, so then we're dealing with the thousands. All right. Cool. This is awesome. Love having this view.
Yep. In practice right now, seeing the last error may not be helpful. It might be, right? It may be, the case that you'll see like at this, step here where we, summarize a document. It may be that OpenAI or some LLM provider broke, right? So that reprocessing it might work because we happen to choose an LLM at that time that didn't work. So it may be working now. So in many cases, though, you're going to stare at that error and you're going to go, Shelby, what is this? What is this weirdness that you sent to me? So I have thoughts on how to make that better, but for the sake of time, I just shipped this.
Great. Amazing.
And the last thing that you can do is you can actually get to the raw JSON of it. And there are some things in here that may be useful at times. So particularly up here, if you look in the assets field, each of the steps typically produces some sort of asset, meaning that, it may generate embeddings or it may stick a summary document on blob storage. So the outcome of all those gets stored on the job record here. And I won't go into all the details, but you can find this. And I'll put a link into, correct me if I'm wrong, like Erica, like everybody for the most part in the CX team does have read access to the repo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So all of these assets are actually documented in the code. Here. So it's pretty clear what they are. So if you're looking at it and you have questions, you can just come take a peek. And it's pretty clear on that. Or, well, I think it's clear. I wrote it. I wrote the documentation, so I think it's clear. But at least I'll give you some hints as to what it is. So
Just curious, Mark, do you have any questions?
I'll try to reference Shelby's document